Today's something just a little bit different than normal. Nick Young and I did some video content while I was in North Carolina for some classes, and my microphone didn't get paired with the receiver, but Nick's did. So you can still make out the audio, you're basically hearing Nick well, and with me, I'm just getting picked up from Nick's microphone while I stand in proximity to him. So the audio is not perfect. I apologize for that. But the options were either just try to salvage it and use it as is, or just delete it. And I thought it might make for interesting content, so I'm going to use it anyway. So apologies for the audio issues, but hopefully you find the content useful. If you have any questions, feel free to drop it below, and I will try my best to answer them.
All right, you say so.
We're ready.
We are ready. For today, I want to talk about a fun little gear setup thing that most people do not think about.
No, I agree.
What I will say is that the way your holster is positioned, the cant, can kind of set you up for issues, specifically related to tension or getting a good grip. Is that fair?
Yeah, tell me more.
Okay, so for most, well, sometimes with like a Safariland, ALS, whatever, you don't have much options. For the gamer rigs, you do have more options. But oftentimes, if the gun is positioned kind of straight up and down in the holster,
So like the butt of the gun higher.
the butt of the gun is higher and the angle doesn't match my belt. What'll happen is if my hands are at my sides, it'll come up, and then when I want to grip the pistol, I'm going to have to rotate my wrist forward to be able to get on the pistol.
Yep.
And when I do that, if I have to rotate my wrist forward, normally my shoulder will come up, we'll see tension issues, and
Yep.
it makes it tougher to draw. So if you're trying to draw fast, you'll see guys sometimes do this, where they have to bring the arm way up to get on the gun.
I agree. I'm not a fan of that either. Well, both of us coincidentally, run the exact same type of cant, where the top of the gun is more or less level with the top of our belt.
So what I'll suggest is that the top of your...
Whoa, we're undressing.
I know. What I'll suggest is that the grip of your gun... Whoops, I'm so bad at looking.
The square. It's got to be in the square.
This way, whatever. I'm so bad at this. The butt of your gun, the line or the angle should equal what your belt is. So, as I explained before, if your gun looks more like this, that's going to cause that issue. When you go to draw, you have to put your hand, like your wrist, rotate it forward, and your shoulder will go up.
Show it. Here, show it like this. You showed it.
You do the thing.
Yeah.
There you go. You're better at all this stuff
So, if it is like this, right, straight up and down, you guys will see how the butt of the gun or the butt of the grip is above the belt. What he's talking about is like that, where it's more or less level.
Yeah. Well, it just so happens, I think your holster is easy to adjust, isn't it?
It sure is, because there's this super cool Blade Tech disc system on here. I think they call this the 360 disc. I don't know. I was just on their website actually looking at some things. But yeah, it's got this disc, which is very nice because you can adjust the cant just by pushing this bottom button, and you can make it go wherever you want.
Straight, even more up, even more like forward. Yeah, like that's normal. So what happens if Nick's hands are right at his side? So your hands hang naturally. You bring up your hand to the gun, and now notice what happens.
Yeah, only back here is touching the gun.
So you have to like rotate your hand forward, and your shoulder has to come up to get on the gun, which is going to, for a lot of people, feel, tension, right?
Yeah, for sure. I agree. A lot of them are even worse. Like some of the old like Safariland setups that we see are kind of like this. Yeah. And you'll see that like guys have to do this whole thing, you know, where they, I can't even get it in. Where they, sounds like a personal problem.
The old FBI cant where you have to reach forward.
Yeah, that whole job thing, like that's not good. So I see it quite often, and it's mostly with Safariland stuff, the older Safariland stuff. So, you know, this Blade Tech disc system thingamajiggy makes it very easy to cant the gun however you want. And it makes like these little super duper minor adjustments, not to make it about gear, but this thing makes it really easy, and it's rather inexpensive. I think it was like, I don't know, 35 bucks or something with the whole shebang, like the receiver and the disc.
Okay. I like that. I have one of the Henning hangers. It's a T1000.
It's pretty baller.
It's a little more money, but there's a bunch of options. But at any rate, the part I think is important off the draw is that my hands are at my side, and then when I bring my hand up to the pistol, all I'm basically doing is just closing my fingers. and then from there the gun goes directly out to the target.
Yep.
I don't have to move my shoulder or move my hand like forward or backward, so it makes it the most natural for me to just bring my hand up. It goes straight to the pistol, and it's like minimal effort on my part.
Yep.
So anyway, I see this happen a lot for people having tension on the draw specifically. So if you're somebody that deals with tension, I'll see somebody with a goat and they'll draw and their shoulder has to come forward
Mhm.
or up. Then once they get the pistol out, they've already built the tension from the way they had to go to draw the pistol, and then from there it kind of just spirals.
Yeah, so I think this is one thing that like gear can potentially fix. Buying that,
100%.
like these are great. This is actually what this is too. I just put one of the what you call it, one of the Blade Tech disc systems on it, just so I can change holsters in and out. But I think the Henning hanger, like that thing's great, but it's rather expensive.
It is, if not the Boss from the Ben Sager Pro Shop, that works really well. And there's a lot of different hanger options.
Yeah.
The Blade Tech system's good, whatever. But if you have the option, I think rotating your holster. So again, the butt of the gun angles or equals the same angle as your belt will be quite good for making the draw more kind of fluid, natural, and a way to eliminate tension.
Way easier. The other thing I think to note too is like the more of a gut, not to sound unkind, but like the more of a gut you have,
I feel personally attacked.
the more this thing will tilt forward like this, and the more cant you will need. Just as an observation.
It's true.
So,
what do you do?
there you go.
All
there
right,
you
that's
have it.
Just a very simple gear setup thing, but something I see a fair amount, and I think a couple people specifically, it's why it came to mind that I was working with. I just noticed it was causing a lot of tension, and just a small adjustment in that, and then kind of the feedback would be when you draw, make sure I'm not moving my shoulder. My firing hand shoulder shouldn't go up or forward.
No.
Trying my best to not move my shoulders. My arms and hands move whatever they have to get to the pistol, but I'm trying not to tense or move my upper body if I don't have to. Because when most people, if they get tension built into the draw, once the gun gets out, if their shoulders are up, it's really tough to relax.
Agreed.
Kind of mid-sequence after you've already drawn the pistol and you're starting to shoot.
Agreed.
So anyway, that's it.
Cool, man.
Something to think about. If you have any questions, drop them below. We'll answer your questions. Like, share, subscribe, all that garbage. Do my best to read through the questions and answer them. So if it's something easy, drop it below. If it's something that requires more of a dissertation, I'm going to be too lazy to type that out. So I'll just make a video talking about it easily enough.
Yeah.
All right.
There you have it.
Watching.